Well, hello there. Welcome back to my channel. And just in case you're new here, hello. How are you doing? My name's Tanya, and I'm glad you decided to drop by. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup look using quite a few products that are new to me. I already have my base on. So today I'm going to be trying out quite a few new products, at least new products to me. So I'm quite interested to see how this will go, and also, as usual, it's makeup excited. So if you want to see how this look goes and how and where we end up, then just keep watching. Right, so as usual, I'm going to start out with brows. I will be using my ColourPop Brow Boss in the shade Auburn. As always, I will be setting my brows in place with my Essence Lash and Brow Gel Mascara. For the eye look today, I have decided I would like a kind of clean and sharper edge on the outside for the eyeshadow. So I'm going to be trying something new. This is actually relatively new, and I got the Catrice eye makeup tape, and it says under it eyeliner and shadow helper, and the packaging looks like this. And no, you definitely don't need to run out to the shop and to get these. You can just use normal like Scotch tape, which is what I most of the times do. But because I did see these, I thought, I would like to try them out and just see what I think of them, and also maybe give you an idea if you like them or not. So you get 24 of these little pre-cut eyeshadow shape things, and this is what they look like. Let's try them out. Oh, so that's good, because when you use tape, like normal Scotch tape, it's very sticky, and especially if you have sensitive eyes, it can pull and tug at your skin when you remove it, which is why I always do the trick of placing it on the back of my hand and pulling it off a few times. But with these, as I just tested out, they don't seem to be overly sticky, which is good, which means that they won't be too aggressive when removing them after doing the eye makeup. So that's a good thing. So I'm just using my lower lash line as a guide as to how I would like to place the tape. And no, I am definitely not a professional makeup artist, and no, probably 99.9999% of the times I never can get the placement exactly right, but that's life. Mostly people are not perfect, and I'm not too worried about it unless it's not completely skew, then no one's usually going to notice it anyway. I do also always try my best. I'm just putting it out there. No, it's probably not going to end up perfect, and yes, I'm okay with that. That seems about more or less right. Probably as good as it's gonna get for me and my judgment. But yeah, I'm happy with the placement, so let's start with the eyeshadow. Today I'm going to be trying two new eyeshadows to me. I chose these two colors because I thought they would go together nicely for this eye look. The first eyeshadow is the Maybelline 24-Hour Color Tattoo in the shade Groundbreaker, and this is what the packaging looks like. This is what the shade looks like. It is a nice kind of brownish red with some kind of like metallic shimmer to it. The second eyeshadow I will be using for the first time today is from L.O.V or L.O.V. It is called the Galaxy Eyeshadow and Liner Glitter in Foil Effect, and it is supposed to be long lasting. I have mine in the shade number 550 Platinum Radiance. And inside, this is what the shade looks like. So also a brownish reddish kind of color. Or this one, the L.O.V one seems to have a little bit more brown in it than the Maybelline one. I will hold them up side by side so you can see why I decided to use these two colors together. I don't know, I just thought they would complement each other very nicely. The eye look today is actually going to be pretty easy to do. I'm going to start out with the transition shade, and I have chosen a powder for this because I find it just easier to work with powders or to blend out powders. I'm going to be using a shade from Trended Up, and it is the shade 109, and it looks like this. It's a very muted, almost flesh color. It has like a bit of pink and also like a little bit of brown to it, so I thought it would go nicely in the crease and be a really good match as a transition shade. I'm going to apply the eyeshadow with a drugstore blending brush and just place it in my crease and work it up a little bit towards the brow bone. This shade is so close to my skin tone that I'm not sure if you can actually see it on camera, but it is just a tiny bit of a wash of color, and the purpose is not so much as to bring attention to it, but just to add like a base and a nice transition for the Maybelline and the L.O.V eyeshadows. Right, now for the fun part. I'm going to start off by applying the Maybelline eyeshadow all over my mobile eyelid. It's very soft and creamy. This is what it looks like on my finger. So a nice rich shade with really hardly detectable micro shimmer. And as I find with basically all of the Maybelline Color Tattoo eyeshadows, it goes on really easily and it has some really nice pigmentation to it. Oh, and with the Maybelline Color Tattoo eyeshadows, I never actually need to use an eyeshadow primer because these just are so long wearing and long lasting that I just find I don't need one. So that's also another yay. I do find with the Maybelline eyeshadows that it's best to do one eye at a time because they do actually set pretty fast. So I will first apply everything I want on the first eye, blend everything out, and then then do the second eye because otherwise I find they just set too fast. Just with what is left on my finger, I'm going to go over the edge in the actual crease and just try and blend it and smoke it out a tiny bit. So not picking up any new product, just trying to blend what is there so I don't have a very harsh line. For the outer edge, I just picked up a tiny amount more of the Maybelline Color Tattoo and am just blending it out. These eyeshadows are such great on-the-go eyeshadows for quick eyeshadow looks because you slap them on, blend them out, and you're done. Now I'm going to look directly straight into my mirror and see if I have blended it out and up enough to my likings. So I think I can blend it out a little bit on the outer corner, a little bit higher, so that when I close my eyes, I can still see some of the blended out pigmentation, if that makes any sense. I wonder if this is picking up on camera, but this is such a pretty shadow, or I mean such a pretty shade. It's not a very typical shade for me. I actually barely ever use any shades that go into like the red tones, burgundy tones and stuff like that, but when I look at it up close, it goes so well with my green eyes. So I'm definitely glad that I'm trying to like branch out a bit and try to leave my comfort zone a bit and just try new things in general. Okay, so for starters, I think that's okay. I am now going to do the second eye. I am just going to go over the edges again to blend everything out. I'm going to be using the same eyeshadow I used before, the 109 eyeshadow from Trended Up. Okay, now I'm going to be using the Sparkly L.O.V eyeshadow in the shade 550 Platinum Radiance. So this is more of a drier consistency, and this is what the shade looks like on my finger. Very shiny and metallic, and definitely more brown than red. I'm going to apply it on the outer third of the eyelid and blend whatever is left towards the middle of the eyelid. So you don't seem to see a huge color difference because they are very similar shades, but it does give you a little bit more depth and dimension, and definitely much more sheen. Yeah, so you can definitely see that it darkens up the outer corner towards the middle part of the eyelid. It also goes on really easily and smoothly, and it seems to stick nicely to the Maybelline eyeshadow, which is a plus. Okay, so I like the way that looks. I'm just going to go over the edges again with the powdered eyeshadow just to once and for all blend everything out nice and smoothly. Okay, the moment of truth. We are going to remove the eye tapes. So the eye tapes do stick a little bit better than I thought. So once again, if you have very sensitive eyes, maybe try sticking them on the back of your hand at least once before applying them to the eye area. But it didn't feel bad, it didn't hurt or anything, but some people have particularly sensitive eyes. In that case, I would suggest trying the sticking it on the back of your hand trick. Ooh, looking sharp. So, what do we think of the edges? What do we think of the evenness? Let's have a look. Once again, not completely even. I wonder if it also has to do with the way my eye socket and eye shape is actually formed, because this side looks a little bit, I'll call it wing, looks a little bit more curved than this side. This side looks a bit more kind of like straight out. Yeah, but like I said, it doesn't bother me, and we can always do some minor fixing and whatever just using concealer. I'm going to be reapplying some concealer anyway, because every time you do your eye makeup after you have done your concealer or your foundation, it tends to take away a little bit of the product, so no big deal. We're going to do a quick cleanup, and then I will be right back. Okay, so that is the eyeshadow done, and I did just a tiny little bit of cleaning up with concealer, and I reapplied some concealer where it had been taken away from the eye tapes, and now I'm going to finish off the eye look with some, now that I have cleaned up the under eye a little bit with concealer, all I did was reapply some of the ColourPop concealer, and I just applied it to the area where the product had been taken away from the eye tape, and I applied a tiny little bit underneath the curve of this wing just to try and even it out a tiny bit more. Before I apply my mascara, I'm going to use an eyeliner pencil. I have not tried this one. It is from Essence in the color 08 Teddy. It is a nice chocolatey brown with a hint of a metallic finish to it. And I think to intensify the look a little bit, I'm also going to apply it to the top waterline. That is what I have so far, and I'm just going to smudge it out a tiny bit using a cotton bud. Okay, that's literally how simple and quick it is to correct anything you're not happy with when it comes to your eye makeup. So the last step of the eye makeup will be some mascara. I'm going to be using an oldie but a goodie for me, one of my favorite mascaras from Maybelline, the Mega Fluffy Volume Express Mascara in the shade Very Black. I am just going to coat top and bottom lashes, and then I will be right back. I have now applied 2 coats of mascara, and I am simply going to comb through my lashes with the Real Techniques Lash and Brow Groomer. Okay. Comb through my lashes, and this is the finished eye look. Next I will be applying blush. I'm going to be using a new blush to me. It is the Rival Loves Me Rouge Powder Blush in the shade 06 Vintage Rose. I will be applying it with my Real Techniques Mini Multitask Brush. So this is a matte blush. It has absolutely no shimmer to it. And now I will be finishing off the look with some highlighter. I will be trying a pretty new product and definitely new to me. Also another one of my favorite products. I will be trying the Thalia Mar Collab highlighter from Ofra Cosmetics. Let me just swatch it for you. Yeah, it's definitely pretty dark, but it is beautiful. I'm just going to take a brush and just blend out the swatch on the back of my hand and just see what it looks like. So when you blend it out, it does become obviously much more sheer. I will apply it with a very light hand and see if it is still a little bit too dark, and then just go from there. I'm just going to be applying the highlighter with my Essence highlighter brush. Well, when you apply it with a fairly light hand and a proper highlighter brush, it seems to go on really nicely. It probably is a little bit too dark for me, but I think I can get away with it. Ooh, look at that glow. Yeah, it is definitely a little bit too dark for me. You can see it when I look directly into the camera, or when I myself look directly into a mirror. You can see like it kind of like leaves like a shadow, or you can actually see a shade there, which basically means yes, it is too dark. It's not way over the top too dark, and it is so beautiful, so I'll definitely be using it in the future. I'll have to see how I can find a way to make this work best for me. Like I said, if all else fails, I will use it as a blush topper. But for all of you gals and guys out there who are looking for a beautiful pinkish toned highlighter and are maybe not as pale or ghostly as I am, this might be a beautiful highlighter for you. It is not exactly the cheapest highlighter. I think I paid about 22 euros for it. So not the cheapest highlighter you can get, but it will practically last you a lifetime, and the Ofra highlighters are absolutely stunning. You can wear them with a very light hand, more in a natural way, and you can build them up to, I don't know, basically you can be seen from out of space if you go with a heavier hand, or even use some like fixing spray or whatnot. So just something to keep in mind. A tad bit too dark for me, but absolutely beautiful. And not too over the top, too dark for me. It kind of gives me a more healthy-ish kind of glow. And while we're at it, I'm going to be using some of the highlight as my inner corner highlight. Ooh, stunning highlighter, absolutely stunning. The second last step to this makeup look will be my lipstick, and I will be using a pretty new product from Catrice. It is the Matte Pro Ink Non-Transfer Liquid Lipstick. It says it lasts up to 12 hours. And I got mine in the shade 040 Braveness Wins. So another dusty rose kind of color, and I think it will go perfectly with this look. I didn't want to go too bold on the lips, and I'm definitely too pale to wear like, you know, one of those really nudes, so I thought I would try this option. It goes on very smoothly and seems to have some pretty decent coverage. And to finish off the look, I will be using some setting spray. Today I'm going to be using a really nice budget-friendly version from Catrice. It is the long-lasting Prime and Fine Multi-Talent Fixing Spray. So it is the one that comes in the purple bottle. Right guys, this is the finished look. I think it turned out really nicely. What do you think? Thanks for tuning in again, and if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It is free. And if you do subscribe, you know the drill. Click the little bell icon so that you get notified the next time I post a video. Other than that, all I can say is thanks for watching, and see you in my next video.